Hello Tarot Tube and gamers, I'm back with more videos about the Citadel. So this is a deck as well as a tabletop campaign. I did a first video about it and I've decided with all of the enthusiasm and partial knowledge and wisdom that comes from a new person to tabletop gaming in terms of D&D 5e, I decided to take another look about some of these cards. And so this video is going to be about using the Citadel Fantasy Oracle part of this kit to do character development. So if you're interested in where I'm going with this, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button so you can find out what's next. So I made an attempt to put all of these cards back in order, even though I have been using them. So I think I got it right. Patience if I made mistakes. Mistakes are made. And I thought it'd be fun to film this one on top of the map for the Citadel, so we could talk a little bit about how these character oracle cards are organized, that's a better word. So we're going to take a look at the instructional booklet. Sidebar, so more information is available in the Spy Master's Gambit tabletop campaign book, but we're going to sort of focus on the information here in the instructional booklet. So we've got a little map here, and so we're going to look at this first bit to see how it's organized. So first we have the court, and see how we're using this, the element sign for fire or wands if you're a tarot person. And in the court we have this group of people, and so the court would be up here at the top part of the Citadel. Then we have the academy, and that's in the air or the sword suit. So that's our elemental symbol, and these are all on the cards. So then we have this assortment of characters, and we do have the keywords on the card, so I'm just looking at this to get us sort of organized. Then we have the crowd, and this is the earth or pentacles. So the crowd would be down in here, right? They would be people. They could, you know, move around, but their home base is going to be more here. And then finally we have this group, which is the water or cups element sign, the troop. And these are going to be the people that are down here where the theater and all this stuff is. So, I mean, people could move certainly in between the different areas of the Citadel, and if you're running a campaign, obviously your players and characters are going to do that. So we're going to put this to the side, and now we're just going to take a look at this. Although, well, you know, wait a second, let's just, there is some information, I can't remember if it's in here or the other book. Yeah, so here's the information about building a character. So we'll take a look at this real quick. You can pause it if you want to, but I'll read it. This simple one-card draw will help you create a player character or NPC. You'll have to integrate the Citadel character into whatever system you're playing, assigning a class or role that you think best fits their description, but this card should give you an archetype and ideas for backstory, as well as some motivations for the character's actions and a window into their personality. You can also continue pulling cards to give your new player character or NPC some personal connections within the game. For example, the first card could be a relative, the second card a rival, the third an old foe, the fourth a lover, and so on. Now, if you're running a one-shot or short campaign with indecisive players, challenge them by getting them to draw their character from the deck. This is a great way to inspire players to play outside their usual tropes and adds an element of spontaneity to a game. If two players happen to draw two cards that are linked by their suit or design elements, perhaps they already know each other. Use these card draws to inspire a discussion before starting. Now, personally, I'm inclined to go with this second thing, just make people pull right there. Oh, I think I'm going to break the binding. Sidebar. And let's see if there's anything in here about, I think there is, but I've been reading, and it's not going to be too surprising if I forget why I saw stuff. Okay, it's the same information here about building a character. All right, so that is that. So now here we go. Let's take a look at these cards, and you can see how you feel about them in terms of whether or not you'd find it useful in building a character. I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, we've got this right there. Okay, I think we can see everything now. All right. So sometimes getting things worked out just right with a cell phone is tricky. All right, so here's our first suit, as it were. This is the court. These are the people who are up at the top. And the overall energy for this is achievement and responsibility in this one. So here's our little element. That's what we're looking for. So we have the aspirant, ambition, diligence, setbacks. The assassin, ruthlessness, conviction. Oh, so the game master, the dungeon master, if they're using these characters in the game, of course, you're going to have to pull these cards out before you let anybody draw. But I'm hoping this video would help anybody who is kind of just like, what can I do next with my character? So then we have the catalyst, radical changes and taking control. I think that's a marvelous character. The diviner, divine timing and evaluation. The fate, accepting help and guidance. The founder, foundations and community. The heir, unseen potential and hesitation. Another fabulous character in my opinion. The hound, loyalty, chains, promises. So see how you could maybe if you drew these two cards, you would have an heir and the heir would have a hound. See if it's a nice way that would work. The king, control, or reversal of fortune. So of course, if you had two players that pulled these two cards, then they would be related, or not the hound, to this one. Then they'd be related to each other, as would the queen, if somebody got that one. Right, so the king's energy is control and reversal of fortune. The poet, relationships and vulnerability. The queen, determination and sacrifice. I think this was interesting that this was in the court instead of down at the lower one, you know, with the theater people, but yeah. The sleeper. We have a couple of cards that are radically different from the other ones, and the sleeper with the dark background is interesting. So cause, effect, and clarity. The spy master. So obviously if you're playing the spy master's gambit, then this is a card that would have to come out. But knowledge and distrust. The waker, awareness and reflection. So look at the difference between the waker and the sleeper. The wise one, tradition and order. And that's the end of this first group, the court. We'll put them to the side. And now we're going to the academy. And the academy is development and growth. So let's see who we have here. I love the negative space on this one. Like the first time I looked at this, I was like, it's an octopus? Because I saw the dark, not the hands. I got very confused. Okay, new projects and learning. It's got a little scroll down there. The alchemist. So this would be another main character if you're doing the spy master's gambit. So this would be out. Balance, invention, and destruction. The archer, biding your time and planning ahead. The astronomer, discovery and augury. The captain, taking command and teamwork. I think this one is interesting because I see eyes and a mouth there. My brain is an interesting place. Okay. The cartographer, a crossroads and exploration. The champion, achievement, but also downfall. The enchanter, isn't this beautiful? deception and trickery. The guide, inheritance and correction. I love how we have a bell there. You know, a guide would, you know, sort of wake you up, call you to something. The orator, communication and confidence. The patron, membership and finances. Oh, I just noticed that my gilding is off a little bit there. Oh well, that's life. The priest, perseverance and faith. The scholar, look at all these tools of the scholar. Investigation and research. And see the open eye, the yes eye. The sentinel, determination and certainty. The warrior, perfectionism and burnout. Gives me a lot to think about, actually. Okay, so that is the end of the academy. I'll put them over here. So, right, we just finished the academy, and now we will go to the crowd, community and hard work. So it's interesting to me, the botanist is down here in the crowd rather than in the academy. However, the gardener's workplace up here, 12, the gardens is up here. So the gardener actually works up here, even though they're considered part of the crowd. So they come from humble origins. The botanist is parenthood and legacy. There's tapping into that idea of nurturing. The forgotten, missed opportunities and fear of failure. The gambler, loss and risks. The hunter, sure-footedness and predestination. The merchant, self-worth and trade. The miser, stubbornness and inflexibility. The muse, generosity and naivety. I love the Three of Cups in there. The pathless, isn't this great? These hands, and then the one that has the gilding. Difficult decisions and a lack of direction. The pilgrim, opportunities and growth. The sailor, new influences, wanderlust. The shepherd, celebration, family. The smith, overthinking, taking action. The thief, seizing the moment, selfishness. Vengeance, overcoming slights, a choice. The walker, the unknown, a journey. The adventure, okay, there we go. We just ended the crowd. So that's the end of the crowd. Now we go to our fourth category, our organization here, the troop. So these are all the people way down here at the bottom of the citadel, the lowest echelon. Okay, and the troop's characteristics are internal thoughts and identity. So we have the adventurer, responsibility and expectations. The brawler, lack of empathy and confrontation. Chiromancer, delivering news and collaboration. So interesting, the chiromancer's down here. Remember, there was a diviner, I think, up in the court, right? The dancer, self-expression and strength. The herald, small regrets, longing. The mascari, the masked, hiding your true self, projection. Actually pulled this card for myself one day this week. I was very confused by it, but it just sort of made me feel mindful all day long about how I was presenting myself and where I was, you know, holding back and where I was being more authentic. So it was kind of an interesting mindfulness activity. I digress. Okay, the musician, inspiration and gratitude. The painter, see, this is the other one that's very different from the rest of the cards because it's got all this red or burnt, is that burnt sienna? Something in there. Now, the painter, productivity and creation. The puppeteer, explanations and apologies. The runaway, secrets, running from problems. The storyteller, isn't that fantastic? Viewpoints and control. The tailor, attention to detail, pride. The twins, self-protection, dual natures. The weaver, rediscovery and transition. The tools, there's so much to look at in these cards. And the witch, experimentation and rebellion. We've got this, the whole moon business there. Okay, so that is it. We've gone through our 4 elements or suits or organizations within the community, or how the community is organized for this campaign, this deck. So I'm shuffling it up because we are going to pull cards. Stick around to the end here, and we'll also pull a card from a side quest deck. I like to do that at the end of my videos when I think of it, when I remember it. So I'm not the best shuffler in the world, and I have no problem with this deck, which is interesting because I thought, I don't know about these shapes, but I'm fine with it. All right, so while I take this off and shuffle it just a bit more, so we're going to pull a card. I have a new character that I'm developing who's in a campaign in Eberron. She is a changeling, kind of androgynous. She doesn't trust people, and people don't trust her. She wears a hood most of the time, and she is an adventurer who is just joined a guild. So she goes off and does tasks, fulfills tasks for this adventurers guild in Eberron. So we're going to pull a couple cards to flesh out this character a little bit. She's only a month old, and she hasn't done much. She's only level 1, but I think she's level 2 this month, as I recall, because we successfully completed a task. All right, so let's see if we can't do something for our little changeling character. See if we can pull a card or 2 or 3 to flesh her out a bit. All right, let's try this one. Okay, so I got the Hound, loyalty, chains, and promises. So I could go 2 ways with this. I could approach my DM and say, I think my changeling, her name is C. I think C maybe has a hound. Can we allow that in the game? To which I suspect this particular DM would say, no, you may not. But I could ask. But then I'm looking at the rest of it, loyalty, chains, and promises. So I would incline to go with this and say I'm going to work on some backstory for C. So C already has got some loyalty, chains, and promises associated with this adventurers guild that she's working with. She's new, but I believe we've signed a contract. Yeah, we signed a contract. So she's already got that. So I'm thinking maybe she has got, I'm going to focus on the chains, and I'm going to say maybe she has got something in her backstory that she's got an obligation. She owes something to somebody. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but there's something in her backstory that doesn't make her completely a free agent. She has got a chain, some sort of a promise or loyalty to some other situation or creature. So now let's pull another card and see if I can come up with something else that would shed a little light on that, although that might be enough for now. But we're just playing here, right? So let's pull another one. Let's see how this spreads out. Not bad. Okay, so I'm going to pull one this way. And I got the Waker, awareness and reflection. All right, so this is the way I'm going to read these 2, and I'm going to stop with that because I feel like I've got enough of a little story element for her backstory that I'm good with it now. So what I'm going to say about this for C is that she's got this thing in her past, so she's got a bit of a chain. She's not free to just go out and do whatever she wants. There's something that needs to be settled or an obligation that she has. And because we've pulled this card, the Waker, awareness and reflection, the way I'm going to write this into her story is that, you know, she went off in this adventure. She went to the big city in Eberron. She joined this Adventurers Guild feeling like she could do whatever she wanted. She's completed her first task. She's about to level up. She's made a couple of she's made some allies. She successfully completed a task, so she's feeling good about her skill set. But suddenly she wakes up and she says, wait a second. I've got this thing in my background weighing on me. I'm not really free to just flit off and do this thing. There's something I'm going to have to address at some point. And I'm not actually free to just be adventuring around with this Adventurers Guild. So I may or may not share this with any members of my party, since I haven't really figured out what that is. But maybe I don't fully remember. Like, maybe there's some trauma associated with this, and I'm just starting to wake up to the fact that, oh wait, there's something back there. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. There's something back there that I'm going to have to dig into and discover. And maybe I will discover it as maybe I'll discover something about myself as we go on our next errand, the next task that we have as part of this Adventurers Guild. Yeah, so I liked that. I thought that worked really well. So that's how I used some of this Citadel Oracle to do some character development. Now there's another deck that comes with it that's elements. It's like tools and spells that your character might have. So that's going to be another video. So like I said, do be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you think you want to learn more about this stuff, because I'm going to do a little series. I'm really, really loving this stuff. Okay, I promised you I'd pull a side quest if we made it to the end. So let's do a side quest, and I think I'm going to do this one. So this is the Magical Academy from the Hero's Journal. It's a side quest. As I'm making this video, they have a brand new Kickstarter up. I'll link it in the comment section, but if you find this video after early summer 2023, then the Kickstarter will be closed, but you can always, you know, they'll be making stuff. This is just the Kickstarter to get it going. You'll be able to find it later. All right, let's see what we're going to get for our side quest. I'm very excited because we're going to have a new side quest deck. Yay! I mean, I think we will. They teased it, and so fingers crossed, right? Oh, let's do it this way. Okay, 3 piles. Pick your pile. Let me just check and make sure everything's in camera. Yes, we're good. All right, pick your pile and get your side quest. If you pick the one on the left, you got make progress toward decluttering a space in your home. Oh, I'm going to do that today. Just follow your heart and keep smiling. Kokiri Kiki's Delivery Service, one of my favorite movies. Okay. If you pick the middle pile, you got write a poem or song about something you experienced today. Oh, 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 it's magic, you know, oh, oh, never believe it's not so. So I sang that out of tune on purpose so I didn't get a copyright violation. Believe it if you like. Okay, last pile, the one on the right. Watch a video of someone painting or creating something. To keep doing what you set your heart on, it's a very hard thing to do. Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. There's a game I have not played. All right, that is it for us for now. There will be more Citadel coming up, more fun game stuff, and more side quests. Have a great day. Whatever it is that's happening in your life, be sure to stop and find something that you can feel good, that you can enjoy, no matter how small, even if it's just a little sip of water when you're thirsty, like this. It can be small. Just be there for it. Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by. Leave a comment if you like. If you think you'd like to play the game, definitely leave a comment. I am going to try to run one, but not live on YouTube. We'll have a private group on Zoom or something. All right, hit that like button on the way out. I'd appreciate it. Bye-bye.